Welcome back. Now, High Court Judge Said Juma Chitembwe has hit the headlines once again after former Nairobi Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko posted a video online allegedly showing the judge discussing a bribery payoff over a piece of land and how to compromise the case. In an exclusive interview with KTN News, Justice Chitembwe denies any wrongdoing and accuses Sonko of pursuing vengeance after the dismissal of a suit seeking to ban Nairobi's new governor, Anne Kananu, from assuming office. The judge, who had been arrested in July over bribery claims, has maintained he will not step aside, following a statement to do so by the LSK Nairobi branch chairman. My colleague Sophia Wanuna had this interview with him. Take a look.
Thank you very much for joining us, Justice Said Juma Chitembwe. Today, online, a lot of Kenyans have been watching clips that have come out and have been circulating. For most Kenyans, they'll remember you a few months ago when you sat in the hot seat interviewing for the position of Chief Justice. But then again in July, they'll remember that this was a justice that was arrested by the DCI. So in the last couple of months, Kenyans have had that name, Justice Chitembwe, quite a bit. But let's begin with these recordings, these tapes. Have you watched what has been put out there and is circulating?
Thank you for inviting me to your studios. I saw these videos way back in July this year, and I've watched them, only that they were sent and edited and now put in more information recently. Yes, so I've seen them.
So you're saying the videos you watched back in July were different from what is now in the public domain?
No, they're the same videos, yes. But every time they are improved. Yes.
So to your understanding, there's a property here in question, yes. Land.
Yes.
Is it that this is your property and there was some payment to be made, 100 million plus, and that there's a person claiming to be the middleman, the connection with you and these other individuals? Or what is, for our viewers to understand from where you sit, the status?
Thank you very much. From where I sit, it's a long story, but for purposes of clarity, I handled a succession case in Malindi. I've carried even a copy of my judgment. This was a lady who was living with a foreigner. To the best of my collection, they lived together for 10 years. The lady is called, I can refer in the judgment.
Yes.
She's not somebody whom I've met. Is called Jen Mutulu Kiengo. So, just like any other case, I was alone in Malindi. I had the case. I gave her a grant because initially it was not objected to, and she went. Later on, some people came to say that they had bought the company from the deceased, so they are the new directors. So as usual, you hear what we call objection proceedings. It's now like a case where you come and testify. I handled that matter, I think 3/4 or halfway. Then I was transferred to Marsabit. The record of that file can bear me witness. I even indicated later the incoming judge finalized the matter. But I had done so many patterns. So the incoming judge, Justice Weldon Korir, I left April 2017. He applied to the presiding judge for me to be called and do several patterns which were almost done. And the record of the proceedings show that if the lawyers themselves who said the judge had heard this matter, let him come and finish it. So I went back for 1 week. I had the remaining witnesses, and this judgment was delivered by Justice Weldon Korir on the 16th of April, I think April or May 2018.
Yeah. Right.
Me, I was in Marsabit, having left in 2017. there were submissions to be filed, they delayed, then I wrote the judgment while I was away. So the accusation is there were 3 properties involved. There is a plot called 1222, 779, and another one I can't remember because those 2 have become prominent. Mm-hmm. I have no middleman. I have no interest in the properties. So unknown to me, I read the judgment and I left. They appealed. I was not aware because you do many cases, you don't follow up. But we have a system where if the judgment is delivered, there is a case back information, what happened to your appeal. So there are those videos circulating that have interest in the property. A gentleman by the name Mojirani, I know Mojirani, me I talk the truth, I've known him for about 8 to 10 years. That he was, how he got into the land, I don't know. But it's alleged that he's holding the title deed on my behalf. So when I saw those videos circulating in July, I know who took the videos.
Who took the videos?
There is a gentleman by the name Jimmy Askar. He is the consulate of Nepal. Jimmy has been in Kenya for over 20 years. And when I was practicing, he used to come to my office for legal advice, doing 1 or 2 things for him. So sometimes, that same July, around that time, he called me. And he told me he had been given my number by an advocate. And he told me he's in a problem. So I asked him, what is the problem? He said, look, there are some properties some friends of mine are buying from the Middle East. And they are in Kenya. And the sellers are Honorable Mike Sonko, the governor, or former governor, and one Mojirani. But he has realized that they were not telling him the truth. And his advocate had not discovered that there is an appeal pending before the Court of Appeal. And they wouldn't like to spend some money, and yet the appeal overturns what... So he asked me, as my former friend, can I come and see you? They have told me that you have told them never to set foot in your house. Maybe to take you back. On Mike Sonko, I've known him for many years. He comes from Kwale. I've known his father. I know his aunt, Mama Momo.
Are you related?
His auntie, elder sister to his mom, was married to my late cousin, Kea Kitambi, and they have 2 children, May and Juma. May died. May was a lady. Juma is there. Up to now, I have Momo's number. I can call her and we talk. She calls me Shemegi. So Sonko would come to my place and say, Uncle, but not frequently, but the moment he had a court case, I told him, don't come. True to his promise, he never used to come.
But now on this matter of land,
yes,
there is an appeal,
yes,
and they do not want to have this allegedly appeal go forward and overturned. So there's some money being put there.
Yes. Now, to go back to the matter, Jimmy wanted me to talk to him just like a friend. And he pleaded with me, can I come with these 2 gentlemen? Because I can see, to some extent, there might be loss of money and I will be accused. So out of goodwill, I told him, okay, you come with them.
And these 2 men being the former governor of Nairobi County, Mike Sonko?
Mike Sonko, he came with his man, I hear is called Peter. Mojirani came. I even asked Mojirani, when you were in Nairobi, he said, yeah, I've been here for 2 weeks. I've been living with the Mheshimiwa here. I didn't know. And Jimmy. So I highly suspect that it was Jimmy taking the videos because Sonko was on my left. Peter was I didn't invite them to my sitting room. I have a small room in my house. When the entrance, there are seats there. So we sat there. Mwajirani was on my right. There was a lady with Jimmy. The lady was introduced as a student. So unknown to me, this was a setup. So later on, I have friends in many places. I was told whoever was wearing some goggles was the one taking pictures of you, and it was Jimmy.
Okay, so let's get a few things straight.
Yes.
On the first instance, and we'll come back to this when the governor is in your house, this man claims to be your brother. You said you've known him for a couple of years.
Yes.
And when he calls you and he's with this man dealing about this money, he says he's your guy and he's the person you have proposed to be the recipient of the money to bring over to you, to be the middleman. So what, to your understanding of this conversation, because we see what they're saying and a phone call is placed purportedly to you, so that phone call happened to you, correct?
No, Mwajirani would call. Why are you calling me? The same way Jimmy would call, but Jimmy never used to call me. He called me for once and asked me. So Mwajirani would say, I've talked to the owners of the land, Jen has another gentleman who guides him, and we have agreed to sell this land. Sonko had signed an agreement with Jen. I have the agreements here for 35 million. So he would just, out of that excitement, and to me, Mwajirani had been recruited to implicate me. It's not that he had any money to bring to me. So the figures which are floated, 100 million, I was hearing those figures now there.
But why did he feel the need to call you? Because this is a matter you had handled.
Yes.
So definitely conflict of interest because it's on appeal.
Yes.
Why is he comfortable to call you to discuss this matter?
No. You are right to ask me that question.
Okay.
Just like a friend, will just say, now he's excited. Mwajirani is not employed, is educated. But out of that excitement, that looks, me, I don't have, my family lives in a rented place. You know me, nobody's assisting me. So I don't know whether Sonko is genuine, he has called me, he wants to buy this land, something like that. We have been talking, not frequently, infrequently, but he was calling because Jimmy had been talking to him, and he knew I also know Jimmy. And Jimmy told Mwajirani, don't worry, I even know the judge. If you want to clarify as to what type of a man I am, talk to the judge.
So you're saying your involvement was to vouch for this business of Mike Sonko and this other man purportedly. It was simply that.
Yes, simply that. And each one of them is presenting a picture of suspicion. And now they're using me just to vouch for. Jimmy is using me to vouch that on Sonko is genuine. Jimmy is using me to vouch that Mwajirani is genuine. Mwajirani wants me to say, if it's true, I've known Jimmy. Okay, to Mwajirani, it wasn't a big deal such that, because the land, he told me, okay, I'm holding brief for the owner, so I don't want to be seen that I've thrown the property. So Mwajirani also, this Jimmy man, are you sure you know him? I tell him I've known him for long.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Honorable Justice, do you not think in hindsight now to have gotten involved in a matter you handled?
Yes.
Rendered judgment?
Yes.
And now on appeal?
Yes.
And there are people seeking there's some transaction,
yes,
but to avert some loss of money according to them.
Yes.
And they're dragging you into this. Do you see that those looking at the details you're giving tonight here on KTN News would wonder, why did you choose? Wouldn't you have best thing to say, deal with your business? I am an officer of the court. This could get murky as clearly is getting.
No, initially, even the discussion on the case, all what they wanted was to vouch that I know this man, go and deal with him. I know Mheshimiwa, go and deal with him. So now, this is a setup. You don't know. So if there are people calling you and talking, and even, you know, when somebody calls you and you are talking many things and he mentions it, then that is the part which is edited to continue the discussion. It's true that it was a matter I had handled. I knew it was, I had had. I was not so sure it was on appeal, but I'd had. But when Jimmy called me, he was saying they had agreed to withdraw the appeal. And he wanted Sonko to confirm that the appeal will be withdrawn and now he can pay them. But there was no money to be paid. This was just to come and record me.
So you're saying categorically that
yes.
their claim made that this money was to you
yes.
to facilitate whatever other ends these parties had
yes.
is false?
There is no money that was to be paid to me. The 100 million was floated there. And you know now the videos have been edited to the extent that Jimmy would say, in fact, for your information, they will say 300 million. We have an agreement for 300 million. The appellants had suggested they be paid 100 million. So when you mention 100 million, it's like you're interested in that 100 million. When we were there, the idea was, let the land be sold, let the appeal be withdrawn. They had agreed amongst themselves. Mheshimiwa called the appellants there, put them on speaker. And you know now, as I've given you the background, Sonko had that confidence in Mjomba. Huyu Mwajirani ni mtu wa nyumbani, why is he refusing to sell the land? Things like that. So I will tell you, you agree because you have come to my house. You are saying, all of you know me, and you are not agreeing. And the issue in court, you are withdrawing. And he called one David, put him on speaker, and they discussed. Surely they said, we have agreed. I will withdraw the appeal. That was David. Okay. And he negotiated with the Mheshimiwa up to 60 million. Then Mwajirani was there, asked, now you have heard David lowering his offer so that I get something like 200 million. So they're there talking. So
you've become, in this instance, like a business fixer, the judicial officer, because what you have said, to my understanding, yes. is they all trusted you. And yes. so you became the person to facilitate this transaction. Again, to the question, as a judicial officer, having handled the matter, wasn't it out of order for you to get involved in any form or shape? And especially in light of now what has transpired. I was not fixing anything. Okay. The initial, you know, this thing starts with an initial request. Okay. That I want to come. In fact, now when Jimmy was calling me, he didn't talk of a specific court case. He just said, I hear there is an appeal, which he had not had. Okay. So I didn't even know that, because he talked innocent. He didn't say, I'm told there is a case you handled, these properties. No, he just said, Saidi, right. This man says you have banned him from coming to your place. He's selling me some properties in South Coast. I know he has quite a number of properties. I didn't know which one. So they have arrived at your house. I didn't want to tell them, oh, it's which property is it? So, yeah. Yes, so it's not that I had the proud knowledge that this is a matter I handled. You come, I will talk to so and so. Yeah. No, I was not fixing any business. I was just trying a whole consulate who requests you as a friend. So another time, Governor Sonko then, right? Yes. Is visiting you at your house. He had a matter before you. No, when he had the matter, that's when I told him, Uncle, that was way back around November last year. Mm-hmm. And that's why I've told you, true to his word, he never came to my house. And all this is happening in July, after we had delivered our judgment. Mm-hmm. Yes. All these videos were taken on one day or two after we had delivered our judgment. In terms of public confidence, when a judicial officer, a public servant, for whatever being seen to engage in these kind of conversations, in those kind of spaces, do you not think it brings in as far as confidence, it dents that, you know, there are these conversations going on about some property, and these are matters you've handled before, you never know you could handle matters concerning such individuals going forward. Again, did it not bother you? Does it not now? Do you not see the error and fault in that at the time?
No. You know, one, Jimmy was coming. I didn't know what was the transaction about.
Okay.
And as a friend said, it's many years, you remember, you know, he would talk, reminding you in the 90s when he used to come to the office, we go for lunch. So he would say, and he was actually pleading because I had said, I don't want to see Hot Sonko.
Yeah.
And as you say, he never used to come to my place. He never used to come. Even Majirani never used to come. So now with this person saying, please, I want to come with this gentleman, I think they are conning me. And he's somebody you know. So that public confidence, to me, I was not fixing any business. Now, but you know now these are people who will engage you. You can't say, what was the problem? Oh, it's this. Go away, go away. They are people you know.
In the past, you've seen people recorded, videos released. You've seen those kind of instances.
For your information, the moment when Sonko stepped in, I told you, Mjomba, and it was in the car. But being clever,
so you were
said,
outsmarted in that instance. You feared it would be recorded, but...
Yes. What he did, there was somebody with the glasses 1, 2. For him, he said, this Nepalese is worried that I will call him. Can I call the lawyer and confirm that we have agreed there is no case? So the idea is there is no case. That's what they were pushing to Jim. And to me, they are all a setup. So I can say I regret having called them to my house. I didn't know what they were. I invited them as a friend, Jimmy as a friend. Not he was coming to give me any money. I even didn't know that Majirani is coming until he stepped out of the car. I said, you have been in Nairobi? Yes, I've been in Nairobi. So
if these are individuals,
yes,
Justice, that you've known for some time,
yes,
both the former governor and this gentleman.
Yes.
Then would you say you're a poor judge of character, that this would happen and you're in this mess and people you've known for years?
I think everybody has his own weak side. I trust people. I think that trust. I said, since there is no matter before me, they are not coming to talk about a court case before me or a court case which they have just said they have their own business. So it's not that you can accuse me and say, how did the judge do? You know, now these things are evolving as they are seated there. And he would say politely, Uncle, wachana na huyo atalipa ama kama ataki ende zake, things like that.
So what do you attribute the release of these clips to? What's the agenda here?
The agenda is we dismissed the petitions of Kananu. And I was presiding in that bench. And when I saw those videos in July, I called him. Mheshimiwa, why did you came to record me? He said, no, yo, wachana na hizo, I think it was Majirani and his people. He knows how to defend himself.
And you didn't see to it that the videos were deleted then?
So he said, no, he promised, said, wachana na hizo, nitawambia was it delete. You know, he talks in good Kiswahili. We have lived with him in Kwale. So he said, hata isikusumbue, I will make sure that they are not circulated. Hiyo isikusumbue Mjomba. So those were his words. 1, 2, ile biashara tumemalizana. So he's telling me tumemalizana hata hiyo appeal watatoa nini, things like that.
So this to you is revenge by the former governor?
I have talked to people. He goes to Kwale. I've talked to more than 5 people there who have called me. He has vowed that the judge will have to be removed. Why did he dismiss my petition? He knew me. We come from the same county. He never used to talk about the case because I had barred him. I never used to talk to him on phone. The author of my office, I never talked to him about the case. True to his word, he never used to call me, never used to come to my house.
But you are not the only judge listening to this matter, so why you?
He says, I know him. He doesn't know. The other two do not know him.
Because he's been to your house, he's interacted with you on business.
Yes, yes. No, not on business. This was not business. This was a setup. There was no business here.
But at the time, to your understanding, as you have said, was that they were trying to get a business deal going.
Yes, and it's not that they were coming, your commission is 10%, nothing. Even the videos, if they say I was to be paid 10%, let them pronounce there. And let it go to the world that I was to be paid a commission. No.
Justice in July, again, you hit the headlines. Being arrested, it's not every day you see a judge arrested. That was big news. So this is the second time, again, in terms of bribery claims and allegations, that you're right at the heart and center of those. Again, perception is powerful. So Kenyans following and watching these stories, because what people see and are able to see, oh, there's this, and then there's this video, and people are saying this. For the office that you hold, that you're supposed to be as a judicial officer above reproach, like Caesar's wife, do you not see merit in, for instance, I've seen a statement here from the Nairobi chapter LSK asking that you step aside, or at least not sit and hear any matters, until all of these issues around you are canvassed, just for the integrity of the office? Okay.
The purported arrest, I have told you, is part of court proceedings. Yes. But it's the same series. It's the same people who are sent to the office. It's the same series. This has been a setup to ensure that the judge is painted black and dark and muddy. So this has been the same series. So this second one, like wherever we have been talking, is a second, it's a plan B.
So this one you're saying is now revenge on the Kananu case.
Yes.
So what was the arrest then? What was the vengeance sought?
Since somebody has voted that I should be removed, it started with that I be arrested with some money. Maybe I'm seated like you have money, and that didn't work. That didn't work.
Why have they vowed that you'll be removed, Judge?
No. I have no dispute with the governor. I have never quarreled with him. I have never disagreed with him. But you know now, vengeance is vengeance. If you know, I don't know what you are thinking about me. We could be talking, yet you have some ill feelings against me. Because I'm wondering, I can assure you 100%, if I was not in that panel which had the case, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here because I have the documents here. There is a sale agreement between Sonko and the lady, 7th November 2017, even before the judgment in that case had been delivered.
So even in the arrest with the DCI, that is all part of this same matter?
It's the same people. It's the same people.
So you must have crossed them really badly, is what some perception out there would be, that's why they're...
If somebody thinks that I took his money or I took his property, that's why he's fighting me, let him come in the office. I've never taken anybody's property. Whatever I own, it's through my own sweat. I have recently, there was also a very minor thing in Mombasa, Nyali, but I think the same cartel knew about it and had to blow it. If you go to Nyali, my building is just one story. There are people with 8 stories who are not in the news, and very rich people. But the news was me.
So you're open to this matter being investigated by the JSC? There's a petition there already, right?
The petition is also related to this. I've not been told to respond. I don't know what it is, but the petitioners are the same people Mheshimiwa called, and they're the same who petitioned. And the petition says, like I wanted to refer you to this agreement. This is agreement between Jane Mutulu and the Primax Enterprises. The properties being sold are the same properties, 779, 122. When is it dated? 7th November 2017, even before I delivered my judgment. But the lady had a confirmed grant. How much is being sold? The price is here, 35 million. Then Mheshimiwa in March 2021, is in his own name, His Excellency Mike Mbuvi Sonko versus Jane Mutuli. This is now only one property, 1222. For how much? The price I saw it here, because I had now to go to the lands office to find out what is happening. 15 million. Yeah. Here is a title deed. I will show you. You can have it. The same property. Title deed issued 14th April 2021 in the name of Mike Mbuvi Kioko Sonko. So it is his property. If I have interest, why would I fight him over his property?
So, back to the question of investigation by the Judicial Service Commission, interrogating and looking into clearing your name. Is that something you're seeking to do?
I will be very happy for the JSC. The JSC has powers to investigate, to initiate investigations. They can call me because I'm under the JSC. I will be very happy, actually. And I would even be very happy if the petition can be heard today and Mheshimiwa comes and testify as a witness, so that if I'm to be removed, let me be removed through because the process of removal is through the JSC. You have asked me about the Law Society. I had not heard about it. It's you members of the press who called to say there is a statement. I'm also a member of the Law Society. I'm also a member of the Law Society. This is a membership of people who know what they are doing. Even if you come storm into my chambers, okay, you are just, because all this is meant to embarrass me and ensure that I'm removed as a judge. So I have no problem to be removed as a judge. If I'm found to be culpable, I will go home politely.
So down to it,
yes.
A yes or no, would you consider stepping aside or not hearing matters until these issues, the matter you have pending over the arrest earlier in July, and also such matters if they were to be seized of?
If I'm to step aside, it will be to give credence to these social media circulation of edited and videos recorded to achieve a specific purpose.
But it would be up to until that time your name is cleared. So, canvas, the argument of that on the other side is that it is on principle that you'd be saying, because of the office I hold, because of the high standard of integrity required, because there have been these allegations, I will step aside, as we see in the public service, the requirement being that I will, not because it's requirement, just to allow for this to be canvassed, and then, having cleared my name, resume duties.
I get you, but the issue is, assuming you are arrested and charged, you will step aside. That is okay. Assuming the JSC calls me and tells me, Judge, we want to initiate investigations, can you take your number of leaves and step aside? I will do that. But on my own, pending what? What is being investigated? Because as we are talking, these are things thrown to the social media for people to consume. So I can't say I'm stepping aside until the social media now subsides. But
there's the other matter.
Subsides. Which other
over
matter?
The arrest in July.
No, that one was filed by the KMJ. Mm-hmm. It's not me who went to court. It's not me who went to court. So the case is pending in court. There are many judges who were arrested and charged. They were continuing doing their cases. Okay.
So you don't intend to?
So I don't intend to.
Yes. As we bring this to a close, you talked about even the JSC, and one of the worries in the legal profession, speaking to some of your colleagues there, even lawyers, is that when it comes to investigating or looking into issues raised about a judge, even before the JSC, and then the same issues are litigated within the JSC or how they're being handled are taken back to be litigated in court, judges, especially when they're the judicial officers of interest in such matters, have a way of protecting each other, that somehow it becomes a merry-go-round, just, because they're saying, do not let one of your own be taken down by this institution because we are looking out for each other. You understand what I'm saying? I'm sure you've had this sentiment.
Those are rumors. Give me an example of a judge. The only judge I know, like I have been a victim before, and it was a straightforward civil dispute. There is a retired judge of the Court of Appeal. I have not read what was the accusation. Those are the only judges who have undergone through this process. I've never seen a judge who has gone through a criminal process to the extent that one can say they are the same people protecting one another. So people can have perception, but I know, like there is that petition filed by the KMJ. I know there are some maybe defamation cases involving judges pending in the court and other things. But you know, now, unless you have a data to say, look, this case was held in favor of this one. In fact, there are many cases which have been dismissed against the judges for defamation, for your information. There are quite a number, only that they won't come to you. There are many cases judge has dismissed against a fellow judge.
Okay.
Yes.
So, your word to Kenyans, as I was saying, we're wrapping up, this evening watching, and they're seeing this is where they come to seek justice. But one of those they appear before, you are here in this murky situation. So how is it you seek to earn the confidence, which is very important for those who appear before you going forward?
I would be very happy to be told. I would not take that personal initiative because, as I've told you, pending what? You are saying pending the petition. We are two, myself and my colleague, mentioned in that petition.
Would you look to sue then the former governor for this?
Defamation has 1 year lifeline. I'm not in a hurry. I don't want, you know, when you sue, you can sue and say, let there be an order saying this. Maybe the JSC would like to call me and they might be limited to say the matter is pending in court. So I'm taking my time. No, not for now. Okay. I'm taking my time. Not for now, so that whatever action, if maybe Mheshimiwa takes whatever evidence he has before the police, I'm summoned there, maybe there is a prospect, I will step aside. I'm not in the judiciary. There are over 200, almost 200 judges in the judiciary. Who am I? I'm just an individual. Okay. I'm just an individual, and me, I was not born in the judiciary. I'm a Muslim. If your risk is finished, you will go. I believe in God. I'm not insisting I have to be in the judiciary. But that idea of tarnishing your name, and you now acceding to what they are doing, stepping aside, you don't know. You know, if you are charged, you are saying, once the case is over, I'll go back. But I can't step aside pending the ending of circulation of these videos. I've not been summoned by the judge. Even the petition itself, I don't know what it is about. I don't know. Even the petition filed by the KMJ, we didn't instigate them to file the petition, but they felt that whatever is being done, you know, sometimes you people think the judges don't have constitutional rights, they must be more than cotton, so we can trample on them. No, we also have our rights.
True, we have rights. Sometimes perhaps justice is because for public officers, and we've seen with governors, when there are matters, they asked to step aside by the same courts. And so sometimes the feeling is, even when you say KMJA is coming to the rescue, it should be argued for one of their own. We do not see them held to the same standard. Perhaps sometimes would be the argument out there. I hope you see
why the governor step aside. These are criminal cases. You have Migori governor, it's a criminal case. You have, I think, Chuka, Garissa, Tharaka Nithi. Okay. Those are criminal cases. But there are governors with civil cases in court who have not stepped aside. What we have, a petition, is a civil dispute. It's not a criminal case where the accused person that have been accused. The moment I'm accused in court, I will step aside. Don't worry about me. I'm not there to insist that I have to be in the judiciary. Right. If it is my time to go, I will politely go without any fight. Okay. And I'm ready to go, but I cannot be pushed out just by people. These are his agreements, he's the one buying. Ask yourself, it was posted yesterday because Onkanan was being so mean. And out of that anger, the judge removed me from this office. It started from the MCS. It went to the Senate. It came to court. We are 3 judges. Right. It went to the Court of Appeal, went to Supreme. But this, you know, you target a soft target, the person you know. So I have nothing, it's not personal. But you have called me here. I have nothing personal. I am not insisting on being the judiciary. I joined the judiciary in 2012. I was working elsewhere before then. I was in happy private practice. Like that property, I bought it when I was an advocate. So it's not that I am a pauper who, when I'm exited from the judiciary, I will die today. I've worked hard through my life. Whatever I earn is mine.
Okay.
And I don't need whatever they are saying is mine.
All right. And we thank you for making time to speak with us, Honorable Justice Said Juma Chitembwe. Very much appreciated that you came and you've spoken your truth and said things from where you sit. Thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right, a very compelling interview there with Sophia Wanuna. And be sure also to grab a copy of The Standard today, the bold paper, which has that particular story as a splash, just to prime you what is on the front page there. Chitembwe responds to Sonko's tape is what we have as a splash today. Secret recordings. In an exclusive interview, Judge downplays videos making the rounds on social media, describing them as edited and manipulated to feed a specific narrative, but admits he knows the recorded man. This story is well fleshed out for you on page 4 of The Standard today. All the gritty details are answered there. Don't go away. Much more coming up on the other side of a break. So allow me also to take another short break.